Hi everyone, let's talk about the moon goddess Chang'e today. But first, let's talk about how do you define your culture? Why is this important? Well, each person has individual experiences. So what may be considered important to you may not be considered important to somebody else. In terms of culture, you can think about what traditions you want to practice. What traditions would you like to teach others and have them experience as well? Does it matter to you if you speak a certain language or you eat a certain food on a certain day? Does it matter what kind of food you eat, what kind of religion you practice, or that you practice certain traditions every year? And it all depends on you. Only you can answer that, because you have to figure out how to define your own culture. And as an activity, you can draw some images related to what you consider to be important to you and your culture, or make a collage. This is a video about how East Asian families celebrate their culture and what they enjoy about it, and the link will be in the description below. So, do you know the story of Chang'e? Well, the story or legend of Chang'e is that there was a beautiful woman named Chang'e, and her husband, Yi, was an archer. However, one day, 10 suns were in the sky, and people were suffering from the excess heat. So Yi was able to shoot down 9 of the suns with his bow and arrow. Then, as a reward for his heroic act, the Jade Emperor, who is the Emperor of the Heavens, gave Yi an elixir of immortality. But the elixir was only enough for one person, so Yi, even though he wanted to, couldn't share with his wife. However, he did not drink the elixir yet. But one night, one of Yi's students tried to steal the elixir. So, to prevent the thief from getting the elixir, Chang'e drank the elixir of immortality, and she floated up to the moon. After that, Yi would always look at the moon and try to find the image of his wife. He would put out offerings to the moon, and Chang'e is now recognized as the moon goddess and is celebrated during the Mid-Autumn Festival by Chinese people. This is a video which recaps the story I just told, but also has visual images. The link will be down below for this as well. And Chang'e is very greatly associated with the Jade Rabbit. She is almost always depicted with a rabbit on the moon with her. And the story of the Jade Rabbit, which may be a little disturbing to some, so just be aware of that, but I'm going to tell you the story of the Jade Rabbit right now. So, a story is that the Jade Emperor came down to Earth, and he disguised himself as a poor, starving old man who was begging for food from different animals. He asked the monkey, the otter, the jackal, and the rabbit to get him food. The monkey was able to gather fruit from the trees. The otter was able to gather fish from the river. The jackal was able to steal a lizard and some milk curds. But the rabbit could only gather grass. He knew that people couldn't eat grass, so the rabbit jumped into the fire and offered himself as food for the Jade Emperor. However, when he jumped into the fire, the rabbit wasn't burned, and the Jade Emperor saw the rabbit's sacrifice as selfless, so he sent the rabbit up into the heavens to live on the moon and become the immortal Jade Rabbit. So now he lives with Chang'e on the moon, and they're almost always depicted together. But let's talk about the Mid-Autumn Festival. This is a festival where Chinese people like to celebrate Chang'e. Some traditions of the Mid-Autumn Festival include having dinner with family members, appreciating the moon, and eating mooncakes. Some other traditions include making Chinese lanterns, shopping, and traveling during this time. So, for the craft, for materials, you need a paper plate or a circular piece of paper, some colored pencils, paints, markers, or any other decorating supplies you have, some blank paper, some scissors, and on Artsphere's blog we have a optional Chang'e handout, which will be in the link below, and glue, which is also optional. So if you're interested in printing out this free handout, it's on Artsphere's blog, and again, the link will be up below. So for this project, here are the instructions. Print out and decorate the Chang'e handout on Artsphere's blog, or you can draw and decorate your own bunny and moon goddess. Then cut out Chang'e and her Jade Rabbit. Separately decorate the paper plate or just a circular piece of paper and make it represent the moon. And then you can glue both Chang'e and her Jade Rabbit to the paper plate or onto your piece of paper, because she is the moon goddess, so she'll be living on the moon with her Jade Rabbit. Anyway, thank you so much for coming today, and I hope to see you in the next lesson. Bye everyone!